As a conductor, you need to be tough. You're constantly getting judged. People always gossip about you because you're the center of attention, and you rarely have days where people do not hate you. In this video, I want to share with you a few things that my conducting teacher taught me over the last couple of years. After this video, you won't be able to unsee those things, and maybe you will recognize some of them in your own boss and personal life as well. The best way to protect yourself against evil is to learn what tricks people use to manipulate you. In one of my lessons with my teacher, he told me that I had to learn this piece in 3 months, which was very few time for the length of the piece. I directly thought it was impossible, and in the end I haven't finished the piece in time, not even close. I've seen him do this with others as well. When we had our semesterly concert, a few days before it, he told a friend of mine to learn a new part of a piece he had never played before, just 3 days before a concert. Why would he do that? Let me tell you. It wasn't about setting a goal how much we should be able to achieve. It was to see if we're tough enough to be able to handle the pressure of being a conductor. He literally told me this the evening of the concert. His example was different, but I instantly knew that he was playing mind games with us sometimes to see if we can handle it. If you don't believe me that being a conductor is tough, I recommend you to think about the 10 people you think most of in your life. The 10 people you are most emotionally involved. And I would be surprised if your boss from work that you hate so much, if you still go to school and you're awful teacher, or just some of your superiors were not on the list. Remember, people will test you. If you're on a date, I don't think there's a single guy on the planet that has never heard of the term shit test. People want to see if you're actually who you say you are or if you're just full of shit. And knowing that people test you is the only solution that can help you pass those tests. Although all of this sounds very negative, the next thing I learned from him is actually quite useful. Very often in my classes with my teacher, he taught me something and I would be just, oh, that's so interesting, and just forgot it again. 2 years later, I realized something. I was like, damn, that's great that I figured this out, but wait, my teacher taught me this 2 years ago. Why didn't I just listen to him back in the days? And I don't have a good answer to this question. Probably it was ignorance. Here's how I applied this in my life recently. This summer I started studying computer science as well to become a school teacher, because as a musician you need a backup plan. It's just too risky in modern times. And the one professor that I really like always says that we should write execution traces of programs that are complicated to understand them. He said this very often. And I was instantly remembering that most of the time, even if it's just small things, if you look up to people, every sentence can be gold. So listen very carefully what they say. And this professor really tried to hammer home the point of writing execution traces, so I did it, and it was unbelievably helpful. The next skill is again more Machiavellian. He told me the story of a rehearsal, a normal rehearsal. He let the orchestra play a part because it didn't function very well. Then suddenly a violinist said that he couldn't understand what my teacher was conducting. But instead of giving in and giving the other person power, he did this. He said, okay, if you didn't understand, let's do it again, but this time you play alone and I conduct. There's an unspoken rule in orchestras nowadays that you don't let people play alone, because they don't like it. They don't like to be judged by their musician colleagues, especially if they're not prepared very well and just run over a whole instrument section where you normally wouldn't hear a tiny mistake. As you can imagine, no one of the orchestra ever dared to say that they couldn't understand his technique very well. When my teacher taught me the story, I was just like, damn, that was a brilliant move, even if it was downright evil. If someone attacks you, spin the problem on them and don't give the power away. That's not my advice, by the way. I don't subscribe to Machiavelli, and I don't think it was my teacher's intent to silence the orchestra forever. But if someone thinks he can make you look like an idiot, you know what to do now. Rule number 4, don't ever complain and never act emotionally. If you're a bit sick and your nose is running, either don't go to the rehearsal or you go there and act like you're fine. If you don't like the piece you're playing right now, play the piece like it's the greatest piece and you absolutely love it. Do your job if it's your destiny to do this job. Musicians, like all other people, will always try to come up with excuses why they couldn't do something. As a conductor or a boss, you need to be above that. You can't complain, you can't make yourself look weak, and you can never act emotionally. You need to be better than other people, or they're not going to respect you. I do this very often when I teach. My students sometimes ask, you look tired, and I'm literally physically exhausted because I left the house 12 hours ago in the morning. And I just go like, no, I'm not tired. I couldn't be less tired. I'm as awake as I humanly possibly could be. First of all, you're not going to be tired if you say something like this with energy. 2, it's very often just a weak mindset. And 3, if you would just say you're tired, you wouldn't be professional. Like those people, they pay me to be their teacher. I can't just go there every week being tired. That's not who I want to be, so I choose not to be this person. Sometimes when you play an instrument and your teacher gives you a piece that you don't like that much, you're often not that happy practicing it and you think, I don't want to play this anymore. But this is the wrong approach. If you would actually try to love this piece, as you love your actual favorite piece, I guarantee you're gonna like it more and find the beauty in it, and you're going to play it 10 times better. If someone acts like a total dick to you, be the nicest person to them. It will drive them crazy that you have the audacity to get not emotionally involved because they can't control themselves. And if you would react emotionally, other people would see and lose respect of you, and that can never happen. Let me know in the comments if you think these 4 rules are helpful, or if they are just evil, and if you enjoyed this video, you will enjoy this one as well, so click right here. Thanks for watching, and we see each other on the next one.